Hello there and welcome to this first auto address tutorial. Today I'm going to show you just how easy it is to create a page with a fully functioning auto address control. First thing we're going to do is we're going to create an empty web page, which I'm going to call auto address. Let's give it a title up here. Auto address demo. Now, auto-address is implemented as a jQuery plugin, so the first thing we've got to do is do a link to the jQuery libraries. So here we've got our script tag, type, text, JavaScript, and source is from ajax.googleapis.com, jQuery.min.js. Word of advice, don't be tempted to copy the jQuery files onto your own website and serve them from there. Use Google, it's cheaper. Okay, the next thing we do is we add a link to the auto address JavaScript file. So here we go, we've got our script tag again, and this time the URL is service.autoaddress.e/autoaddress/autoaddress.ashx, and here on the end of it we've got a query string that says JS equals 1.0. So what I'm saying here is I want version 1.0 of the auto address control. Now I'm nearly finished with my links. The last thing I need is a link to the auto address CSS file. This controls the layout of divs and stuff like that. It doesn't do colors, it doesn't set fonts. You can do all of that yourself in your own CSS. So again, we've got our link, type text.css, and the URL is pretty much the same as the last time, service.autoaddress.e/autoaddress.autoaddress.ashx again, but this time the query string says CSS equals 1.0, but I'm keeping the versions the same. Okay, so that's it for the links. Now the next thing we need to do is we need to give ourselves a little space on the screen where the auto address control is going to go. So we set that up as just an empty div, give it an ID of auto address control. We'll see where you use that later on. And the control, when it initializes, will fill that div with all the HTML that it needs for it to work. Okay, so now it's time to start adding in a bit of JavaScript onto our page. If you're familiar with jQuery, you'll know what I'm doing here. I'm just writing something that will fire on the document.ready event. And what are we going to do? Well, we're going to initialize our plugin. So here we go. We declare a JavaScript variable, and we use the standard jQuery selection to select out here this ID again from back here. Okay, so now we've got our JavaScript variable. We're going to call our plugin. Our plugin, of course, is called AutoAddress. Sort this out in our brackets. Now you can read the full auto address documentation to get the full list of options and callbacks that you can pass and supply here, but for now the only thing that you really have to supply is a license key. And once that's done, your auto address control is actually ready to use, but you're not going to see anything yet until we supply one callback here, which is the on-address details, and that gets called at the end of the address matching process. So here, just for demo purposes, I'm just going to pop up a message box that will show the returned results. Obviously, in your own application, you're going to do something much more interesting there. And that is it. So let's just save the page, and then we can view this in a browser. So let's do that. And here we go. Here is my fully functioning auto address control. Let's try it out with Dame Street. And as you see, it's got autocomplete, finds addresses, lots of addresses on Dame Street. Yes, I'm in City Hall. Let's confirm that. And here we go, and this is the alert that we put in earlier, and this is the type of information that you can get back. So you've got your entered address, City Hall, Dame Street, and you've got a clean address, which is what we've matched it to, City Hall, Dame Street. We've got an auto address ID, results, match levels, number of addresses, all manner of interesting things. To see how exactly you can use all of that information, you're going to have to come back for the next tutorial. See you then. Bye.